Mysterious Ghost Investigation Crew, MGI.
Spiritry and mix, don't know ghosts exist. Ignorance is bliss, abyssal hiss, deadly dish kiss. At the crossroads, walk unseen skies, where electromagnetic static entities recognize. Poltergeist levitation I beheld, despite being disbelieved, my belief is unparalleled. Trismegistus, spiritists, corners of rooms, spirits exist. If you don't know, you aren't in the know. As above, so below.
Welcome to the Pyramidical podcast. I think this is episode 18. I'm Brandon, and this is John.
Episode 18. So this is Easter Part 2. Right, is this the sequel?
The resurrection, yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely. Yeah, we just got off of St. Paddy's Day. Do you celebrate St. Paddy's Day at all?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Are you Irish?
Yeah, I'm Irish.
That's cool. We, I think I've showed you the Boston Irish book that my father's in. I don't need to bust that out again.
Mm-hmm.
But like Conan O'Brien's in it and stuff like that. But yeah, we didn't. It's a tradition to have corned beef and hash and onion cabbage and stuff like that. So,
Have you ever done the ancestry thing?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, big time. How about you?
Yeah, it tells me how Irish I am.
What do you get? How much? I'm
actually
not that.
The percentage changes over the years.
Yeah.
Like I got it done like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first got it, it said you're 2% Icelandic. And I'm like, heck yeah.
Whoa, cool. Yeah,
Icelandic. I didn't know I was any percent Icelandic.
Wow. Yeah, that's rare.
Pretty cool.
That's very rare.
And then fast forward 5 years, it says you're now 2% something else. But it's the same thing. It's the same Icelandic heritage. They just traced it more specifically to like Swedish people who went from Sweden to Iceland. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm 2% Swedish.
Wow, that group of people, and those are like the Vikings, those are like the settlers. But the funny thing is, and I've taken a course with Michael Drought, the author of that book. That's we just heard about is being pressed by the Easton Press is making this just came out last year, late last year, and I was one of the first to read the book and do a review right here on the show, and it's already getting like a nice leather bound. The Folio Society, they make all these amazing books and really great binding and great covers and stuff. Well, Easton Press is doing this book, but Michael Drought, he taught me the Vikings, and we read the whole history, the Prose Edda and the Poetic Edda and the histories of Snorri Sturluson and everybody. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is the Vikings went all the way to like Russia and the Ukraine, they sailed up there anyway. Yeah. But when they settled into Iceland specifically, mm-hmm. When they went there, they found people were already there, and they were the Irish, had been going there as monks. These old monks. That's a cool mug, by the way. Looks like a cauldron.
Yeah.
So
it's a Harry Potter mug, and I'm drinking coffee with the Harry Potter coffee creamer. It's the butterbeer coffee creamer.
Wow. I have you outmatched, unfortunately. You can't go wrong with a very special, magical. This is the actual cup from the set of the movie Michael with John Travolta that he actually used as a prop, picked up once and sipped out of once. So, and it's made with the actual John Travolta's was sponsored by John Travolta tonight. The actual coffee syrup of John Travolta. It tastes a little.
That's kind of gross. You drinking garbage?
Michael's fantastic. I predict there's going to be a Michael 2 this year. They're already talking about Michael 3, Michael
Mhm.
4, Michael 5, Michael. We could see many Michaels. That's my Oscar prediction from last year. By the way, did you watch the Oscars or anything?
Nah,
No.
but Irish wise, I'm looking at my Irish heritage. It says I'm 32% Central Scotland and Northern Ireland.
That's
So
about
I'm
me
both
too.
Scottish and Irish.
Yeah, that's about me too.
I was watching a video on Instagram, and someone from England said that Americans think Irish people have red hair. But they said in England, it's Scottish people specifically are the ones that
Right.
stereotypically have red hair, not
That's
Irish.
true.
Scottish.
Right.
So maybe I got my red hair from Scotland.
Well, I don't know if you've looked into it too much, but if you go into like trace it back even further, they're like some of the oldest kings, the Scythians, this very interesting group of people that lived mostly in the Mediterranean and settled Egypt, Greece, Italy. The Etruscans were all like, they were associated with the Atlanteans at one point, you know. Not to get on that topic, but because it's stupid. Well, no, it's not stupid, but you know what I mean. They were associated. You talk about, I mean, there are pharaohs with red hair and blue eyes, you know, and they talked about their red skin because the sun, you know, on a pale white face like you and me, we have to put on like ointment, you know.
Mhm.
I'm so white, I reflect the sun's rays back at it, you know.
Well, let me just read off the percentages.
Uh,
I'm actually 3% Viking.
oh,
I'm 1% the Netherlands and 2% Swedish.
that's
But
pretty cool.
originally it did say Iceland. So
That explain
I share Icelandic. Well, for example,
something to be proud of, really.
on a
Honestly.
separate website, totally separate from this DNA test, it said that I was related to Ragnar Lodbrok Sigurdsson, the actual king of the Vikings.
That's right. He
And
is, yeah. He's one of them. Yeah.
Historians say we're not even sure if he existed. Well, if you're not
Yeah.
even sure if he existed, some super mega genealogy nerd said I'm related. And separately, on a separate scientific level, DNA said I'm related.
Well, yeah.
This DNA website is not connected to the genealogy website. They're two totally separate websites.
Yeah.
And one is a mega nerd who spent his life, or maybe it's a woman who spent her life researching her grandmother, great grandfather, whatever, and happened to connect me. I sling in there.
Or a machine.
I don't do any work, and I'm connected. But someone spent their life's work connecting these kings and all these things.
Yeah.
And they connected two crusaders, two Catholic,
like Charlemagne
Templars,
and people
Knights
like that.
Templars specifically.
Oh, wow.
I'm related to two Knights Templars
Interesting.
because they were so proud of being Knights Templars.
Right.
They put Templar at the end of their name.
No way. Wow. Cool.
And I think I'm related to a Templar and a Templar's son. Now, I don't know if it's against the rules for the Templars to have kids, but this Templar has a kid.
So. Yeah.
And his kid was also a Templar.
Interesting.
So it's pretty interesting. And then that's after Ragnar, and then go a couple generations, and then I'm related to two Templars.
There is a connection.
Cool.
Yeah, there is a connection. The Vikings, like I say, went everywhere. And there was a Viking to this day that's in the Vatican has that colonnade of saints. And one of them happens to be a Viking. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he became a saint because I forget why, but it was around the time of Ragnar Sigurdsson, Snake in the Eye. But he was a historical figure, in my opinion, because even if you look at the actual text of the people from Iceland who we should trust, like Snorri, he even says that people like Odin were real people. You know what I mean? Like they actual were cheap. According to, I don't think it's on the level of that, but
a real person, but he might have been based loosely on a real person.
And what they call the Aesir, Aesir, is the gods. It's essentially the pantheon of Norse mythology, and they're called the Aesir, and that translates to the Asians. And so, but they do have a genealogy of like because they kept actually really good records, the Icelandics and the Scandinavian, the Icelandics in particular. But they're just an amazing culture, so that's really cool. I have 0 Icelandic, zero Scandinavian.
Say everything, every percentage. But like you said, I am related to Ragnar Lodbrok Sigurdsson's son, right. Sigurd Snake in the Eye Ragnarsson, because I was able to see that on the genealogy website. But I'm mostly English from England, believe it or not.
Yeah, really?
I'm 25% from southeastern England and 19% from West Midlands, England. So if you put that 25% together with 19%, I'm not good at math. I'm the worst at math. Okay.
What is it? 19 plus what?
19 plus 25 is my biggest.
34, 44.
44% English straight from England. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest. But I'm 7% from Connacht, Ireland. And I'm 2% from Munster, Ireland. So
that's where the cheese is. That's where the cheese is from.
I'm technically 9% Irish, but not really, because there's more. I know that's okay. That's Wales.
Wow. Yeah, I guess that detail.
There's Northern Wales. You know what? I think I'm more English. There's just more English on here. But as far as Scotland, all it says is Central Scotland. So that's pretty cool. I do want to visit that area. Cool. I visit the UK one day. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm mostly, mostly Portuguese, Italian, number 1 Italian. Number 2, Portuguese. People, you wouldn't guess. Mostly people, when I say English too, and Scottish and Irish, they're like, oh yeah, of course, you know. But when I say I'm, Italian and Portuguese, maybe a little bit, and Eastern European, they're like kind of darker skin. They're like, what the heck? I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah, I can tan, sometimes, but anyway.
Yeah, I can't tan either. I burn.
Yeah.
Like after I burn, like I'll get a micro tan while I'm healing from the burn. That's it.
Right. And you adjust to it over time. Yeah. Like when I lived in California. Oh, look at this.
This episode is sponsored by Peeps again for some reason. So we got the bare necessities. So I had to run out and grab them.
Like, what'd you get this time?
What do I need in life?
Right.
And I was like, food, no. Shelter, no. Gas for the car, no.
No.
You need water, no. What is the most essential thing you need in life?
So like Napoleon Hill said.
What you need are Peeps finger puppets. Peeps finger puppets. That's what everyone needs. Without Peeps finger puppets, you're just missing out.
Are they in plastic? So like, or can people just touch them?
Like that? Soft rubber, and you stick your fingers in there.
That's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
I don't know if you're a Peep fan.
This one has a bow tie. This one has a mustache, believe it or not. It's a Peeps mustache. Cute. And this one has a flower, and the other ones don't have anything. But
that's fun. That is fun. That is very fun.
Nice Easter basket stuffer.
Yeah. It's you'd be a good dad, but like my kids are like, oh God, Dad, how many times do we have to read the Oxford English Dictionary again, or something like? Do we have to hear Old English, Mort d'Arthur and the original Old English or whatever? No, I'm not that bad.
I'm about Pokeballs earlier, right? Pokeballs.
Yeah, they're good. I just had
them. Pokemon bowls.
Pokemon bowls would be great.
Speaking of Pokemon bowls,
we trademarked that, by the way. I think John and I are trademarking Pokemon bowls.
If you want to make some scratch, who doesn't want to make some scratch, right? Make a little buck.
I mean, I do.
Did you hear about Luca? Luca fell, and when the refs didn't award him a free throw, he went like this.
Oh wow!
Luca was fined.
He's awesome.
Luca was fined like $10,000 just for doing that.
Nothing to him. Yeah, good for him. That's awesome. He's a great player. I love the Lakers. Don't get me wrong, man.
Let me get the exact.
I saw a highlight of
Oh my God.
LeBron James.
He was fined $50,000 for doing this.
LeBron James caught it from LeBron James caught it from behind the backboard in an alley oop and still managed to dunk it. Athleticism. I think he's 41. That is just makes him. No, I think there's Jordan. I was talking about it earlier. I heard to MKE about it. Who's I made a show, and everyone check out Mr. Kill Everything. His name is on YouTube and everywhere. I was talking to him about this. As it goes, Michael Jordan and LeBron. You have to say LeBron is next. Just people hate on him all the time, but God.
I personally think number one is MJ, Magic Johnson.
At least we got that out of the way.
Number two is MJ, Michael Jackson. We can all agree on that.
Number three, OJ. Yeah.
Hey. But anyway, if you want to make some scratch like Luca, all right?
You gonna tell him?
This is how you make scratch. You get a Pokemon card.
Burn that
plastic. Thing. Make sure there's some hologram on there. Got to make sure there's hologram, plastic. So basically, we're looking at cardboard and what the dinosaurs used to be made out of. But really, more specifically, it's the food the dinosaurs ate, or maybe it's even pre-dinosaurs. It's just the molten crude oil in the earth, and then you have the trees sprouted up, and then you chop those down and turn it into cardboard, and you combine those two, and what you have here is Pokemon cards.
That's how it's made, yeah.
And that's how they make Pokemon cards. So I recommend grabbing these guys.
Takes millions of years, they say, to make one.
So after you pick out which Pokemons to buy, you got to make sure they're PSA 10. If you don't get the PSA 10, you're just wasting your time. Make sure it's PSA 10. Don't get anything other than PSA 10. Period. So that's number one. Number one, get PSA 10. Number two, sit on it. You're basically like a dragon guarding your Smeagol horde or whatever the case.
Yeah. Good try.
You are a chicken guarding the eggs. Okay? And you sit on it for a couple years. I've literally sat on this card right here for 3 years without even looking at the price. Don't care what it is. Couldn't care less.
What is it?
It's already gone up. We're talking, I'm bad at math, okay? Yeah, but we're talking like 500%. 500%.
What?
Maybe 200% because I'm bad at math. But it's gone up in value an insane percentage because of the hologram. The hologram involved, like Stephen Dolan says, is demonic, and it hypnotizes kids into paying whatever you want. So Pokemon, great investment. But I'm not going to give you any. I'm not going to give you any sneak. I'm not going to give you this secret information, but I'm going to Japan. Okay, I'm going to go to Japan.
Oh, I was going to get into that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I was going to say we have some big news to break here on the podcast, and the big news. And I didn't know if John wanted to talk about it, but he was teasing it out a little bit. But in terms of the film, you have some big news to share.
Well, I think by their fruits, and what's this fruit? This fruit is I'm going to Japan either way. So that's pretty cool. I wish I could take you. I'm not that rich. Okay. So Pokemons, like this guy, his name is Ditto. It's not even a he.
Dido, maybe a Dido.
Who knows? No, his name is Ditto. Specifically, it can shape shift into anything. So it can Ditto. Oh,
like Sam said.
I'm you. I can Ditto into you.
Like Sam said in Ghost. He said Ditto, remember?
Yeah, like Sam said in Ghost. I mean,
all right, a good shoot. I love that movie.
So yeah, Ghost is a great movie.
It is.
So Ditto can shapeshift into anything. He shape shifts into Pikachu all the time. Blah blah blah. That's boring. There's even like we're talking. Pokemon is so old now. There's probably 40 different cards where Ditto has shape shifted into those 40 different Pokemon.
Oh wow, interesting.
But I like Ditto on his own as the pink blob.
Yeah, it's cool.
As the pink blob, Ditto's pretty cool.
Probably has Lovecraftian.
Right here is from 2004. It's a PSA 10, fire red leaf green. And that kind of reminds me, Fire Walk With Me.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about Twin Peaks after you talk about your movie. So we going. But hold on.
So I am filming in Japan. This is happening. I'm filming for 10 days in Japan, or maybe I'll film for 7 days, and maybe I'll have 3 days of leisure. But I'm such a workaholic. I'm gonna bring my camera everywhere I go.
Yeah, you'll be super stoked.
Just in case the coolest scene in the world is happening, I'm having it for the movie. Yeah. Let's say they have a dragon going down the street. Let's say there's a crazy guy flipping out. Anything that could be inspirational for the movie. I'll be there just in case.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, Japan is a no-brainer. Memory Lane, also known as Piss Alley. That's just the nickname they gave it, and I don't want to know why, but I'm probably going to find out firsthand. You know what I mean? I'm going to be walking down the whole thing. I don't know how many miles it is, but it's a famous area in Tokyo, and it's not even the neon bright lights. It's the rundown. Here's some paper lanterns and some more rundown shops that people don't necessarily go down, but it's Memory Lane. They're very old shops, like the oldest shops in Tokyo, perhaps.
Wow, cool.
And it just keeps going and going and going. But the grittiness of like 100-year-old alleyway is what I'm going for. And you can't go to LA and find that. No. You can't go anywhere to find that exact what's in Japan.
Have you ever seen there's a weird film that came out. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it took place in Tokyo, like that town. I mean, what a wild city. Like just the film at, like, I mean, and then of course Lost in Translation, of course, and there have been Kurosawa.
Yeah, I mean,
so I love
Lost in Translation's all right. It's not my cup of tea. Okay, not my cup of tea. Let me tell you why I don't like Lost in Translation.
Why?
And I think the director is brilliant and great. I think she did a great job. Okay, I just think the premise is a little boring. We have one of the most exciting, interesting cities in the world, or countries in the world, right? And Lost in Translation is basically two white people meeting at a hotel bar. And these two white people are like, let's go to karaoke. And sure, it's a great movie. It's a great film. They acted great. The script is great. Just the premise, I don't like the premise. I don't like, it's boring to me. Okay.
Yeah,
let me pitch my movie's premise. Just as different. It's a little bit different. Okay. I'm going to Piss Alley, like the grittiest, dirtiest, yet cool with atmosphere in the world. And I'm also going to San Luis Obispo, California, to Bubblegum Alley.
Nice.
And if that is the perfect analogy for what my movie is. Bubblegum Alley meets Piss Alley.
Wow.
Beautiful poppy culture of, it's bubblegum, and then grittiness.
Right.
The grittiness and the bubblegumness, even though Bubblegum Alley is actually gross and disgusting, just the word bubblegum itself and piss itself, those words, even separate from these alleyways, which I'm going to film at both alleyways.
That's right.
I kept the Bubblegum Alley thing a secret, but I'm going to pop over there at 2 a.m. I'd like to see anyone try to stop me. I'm popping over there. I'm filming, and I'm not telling you when. In the next 8 months, I'm going to film for 30 minutes. So good luck watching for 8 months on Bubblegum Alley, because it ain't going to happen. You're not going to know when I'm showing up. I'm going to be in and out, bada bing, bada boom, in and out. It's a very small alleyway.
Why would they have a problem with you filming there anyway?
They won't. It's just I get a little paranoid, you know what I mean? For example, they're going to say, oh, you owe us Let me look at. You owe us $10,000 a second for filming with a tripod and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I can't afford $10,000 a second.
Won't happen. I really don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
But no, I mean like the fines and everything. That's
Well,
I mean,
Japan has the most loose filming laws in the world. In other words, you can do whatever you want. Now, can you show people's faces up close?
Did
Not
not
without
know
the
that.
permission. Not without the permission. I'm definitely going to be hiring at least a handful of extras. Maybe just for 30 minutes, maybe just for a day, maybe just for half a day, maybe just for a couple hours. But I am going to film, and I need some extras wearing some stuff for the movie. Because I have a wardrobe, and I can't go to Japan hoping people have this. So I'm literally going to have a suitcase with wardrobe with me. I'm going to have a suitcase with my camera equipment. And then I'm going to have a suitcase with my regular clothes, I guess.
Wow.
But I'm so paranoid that something amazing is going to happen, to be honest. And if this is a little crazy, I'm probably going to be dressed up in wardrobe the whole time, just in case.
That's cool.
Because that way I can, hey, this is a great shot. Let me get that. Hey, this is a great shot. Let me get that. I'm probably going to be.
It's true.
It's going to look like cosplay. No one has seen it. I've spent 2 years.
You can get away with that in Japan. Yeah.
I know. In Japan, that's one of the few places people might not give me a second look.
It's perfect.
But here, where I live, right here in California, people would call the cops, possibly based on what I look like. They might call. It's that crazy. It almost looks like an anime character. I've created this character all the way from the shoes up to the hat. From the shoes to the hat and everything in between, I've spent 2 years designing, and I'm not a fashion designer by any means, but I've yet wanted to focus on this guy and make him as iconic as possible. Almost approaching him as you would the Joker in a Batman movie. I really wanted him to be detailed and have his own thing going on.
It's awesome, yeah.
And it's not the Joker, but minimally speaking, maybe 5% of the character has the Joker in him, you know, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. People are inspired by different things, but he's not the Joker. That's just an example. I got to be as vague as possible because I don't want to give away. You're going to see the character. You're going to be introduced to him. You're either going to love him or hate him. See, I don't know how the audience is going to react.
Yeah,
they might love him. They might hate him. It might be indifferent to him. I have no idea.
Right. One way to find out. Yeah.
We will see what happens.
That's a really cool. And I want to give a shout out. I think somebody that would really play. And it's funny, just before we started recording this, they went live and said that they are open. They got like some reading, or were told by some person that they should be open to opportunities and all this stuff, whatever. And I had mentioned the movie to her and online in a live stream. Unicron is her name, and you should look her up. She is in LA, I think, in the LA area, and she really is like a true artist. She makes her own music. She's been mentioned in Rolling Stone. Does her own paintings, like actually like an author too. She's known for a few things I'm not going to mention right now.
Just give me the information. I've never heard of her, but I have one actor other than myself that has signed on, and I even had to double check. Are you I mean, this is low budget. Are you sure? And they said, yeah. And I said, cool.
Well, she's a true artist, and like she still does like YouTube streams for like 20 people and still hustles. Like today, like she was just building like what I thought was an air fryer, I think, but it was like some piece of furniture for a new studio, and this always working on art projects. Really cool. And I don't know. I just think she is a little far out. Do you remember there was that Naruto run at Roswell a few years back? She was like in the paper for that, and she was
a little far out. I mean, out is what my movie is all about. I love far out people.
I mean, in a good way. Some people are a little taken aback. Yeah, I think Vice tried to do a hit piece on her, kind of. Like, show her as like a cult leader and stuff like that. And
Mm.
that's not what it's about. It's about like, I mean, she did end up buying like her own farm and uni acres, and there's a whole, but it's a front for like an invitation to friendship, essentially. So, um, anyway, very cool girl, and like just very, check her out, and I'll send you the contact details. But
Okay.
would be perfect. I mean, and just like, yeah, I just think she would be cool, and is in the California area. Oops, sorry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's providence and serendipity, and
coming together.
someone wants to be in the movie, and they happen to be nearby, they can be in it. It's
That's
one of
cool.
those things. I mean, I can't promise everyone will be in it because not too many people happen to be where I'm located. I do
Or
have
do things.
10 to
Or
15 people online, and they're amazing people, and they support the channel and they support my work, even though I don't have much out there. Just a couple of YouTube videos for the past.
we could sell out easily, by the way, too. By the way,
What was
I
that?
know we could sell out easily. I think, like, we could easily gain. Like, I think there's a formula. Like, get out. First of all, get Jordan back wearing a bikini or something each live stream, right? The
No.
numbers would. I mean, we could sell out. We could. We could go that stupid path. We could start talking about Keemstar drama. We should, between YouTubers, and start wars and drama with people. But we're not about that. Like, John's making
See,
a movie. This is essentially John's
I've
movie.
never seen. I'm a. I wish I was at the level as Jackie Chan, but I'm pretty close. I don't know all of the Kardashians' names, and I don't want to know. I've
Yeah,
never
me neither.
seen a single Kardashian episode,
I
and
had
I'm
to.
proud of that.
I don't
And,
really. I'm not proud of it. Of having watched it. I saw it, but they. Good for you.
YouTubers are similar on a similar level. Like I know who PewDiePie is because he annoyed me with his intro, and past that, I don't know who anybody is, and I don't pay attention to any YouTubers unless they made great videos 10 years ago. I pretty much don't know a single YouTuber.
Me
So
either,
you could name
honestly.
the biggest name and the smallest
Well,
name. I wouldn't know the difference, to be
Well,
honest.
last one I knew of that really I knew it has like stayed is the Logan Paul, Jake Paul brothers. Like but they came from like, what was the one before that? They came from Vine, I think it was, right? And then
Well, you know the fake wrestler, was he the fake boxer? See, I lost track because he actually is fake both. The fake wrestler, fake boxer. He sold his
oh
prized
yeah,
possession.
that's
I
right.
think it was a Charizard, but how would I know? I know nothing about Pokemon. All I know is I focus on
Uh,
the non-popular. Now, Ditto's pretty popular, but I focus on even less popular than Ditto, even less. And when I saw that fake wrestler, fake boxer Paul sold his crown jewel for like 15 million. Let me see how much he sold.
it's probably a fake, I
He
think. I
sold
think
his
decoy.
Pikachu for 16.49 million.
No, to who? What idiot is not idiot, but you know what I
Who?
mean?
To
My God.
someone who 16.49 is worth nothing.
Oh no, I
Probably a
know.
nepo baby who got it from their grandparents.
It's just
Here's
interesting.
what it is. They can spend their grandparents' money on whatever they want. It's
I
not my
know.
business. Not my
I
business.
know. I
But
know.
what it has done is it has boosted the value of Pokemon cards 1,000%
Yeah.
more than they should have been boosted.
Good point.
And
Good
I can
point.
tell you that result of that is I paid razor sharp attention to these things, even though I don't care about them. And now I'm going to Japan. So it worked out
Uh,
well. Things are going out pretty good, going along pretty good. I
so
can tell you
really,
this much. Let me tell you the deets. I'll give you a vague details.
thank you, Jake Paul. Wow.
I bought some of these cards to be props in my movie, literally to sit as props.
No way. That's crazy.
And I was able to sell them, and now I'm going to Japan to sell some props that really don't matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, and I did film the PSA 10s. I filmed them.
Mhm.
And I'm going to switch the PSA 10s with like PSA 5s that cost $5. And you're not going to notice the difference. When an actor is holding something this far away, you can't see the details on it. So a PSA 5 is going to look exactly the same. Only the zoom up matters. And I already have the zoom up. I filmed it.
Smart.
I got it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. John started through, man. You know, and that's what a really good director does, is pay attention to the fine details. And
I can tell you what tipped me off to buy Pokemon is I was at the grocery store and I saw Time magazine had a Pokemon on the cover.
really,
And then I looked over and there was a
Good.
second Time magazine with a second Pokemon and a third Time magazine with a third Pokemon and a fourth Time magazine with a fourth Pokemon. This is Time magazine having a special 4 different Pokemon covers, special release 3 years ago. And I'm
That's
like, you know
incredible.
what? If Time is going to waste their time putting 4 different Pokemon on their cover, then I'm going to invest in this garbage. I'm going to invest in this stupid stuff, and then I'm going to cash out, baby.
Wow. Well, like I tell my students, you know, like, and and to teach economics is like, and they want to make money, you know, and there's some really good, like programs out there, like Stock Hero, where you are an investor, and it's pretty cool. So they want to learn about it, but they don't know the first thing about it. But it's like I tell
Well, I
them,
recommend you just get a PSA 10, and you can get them for cheap. You get the most unpopular PSA 10 you can find. You can get them literally for $20 a piece.
wow.
You sit on them for 3 years, and then you look at the value. And
Well, like you said,
sometimes you hit. It's a hit and miss situation.
but like you said, like, you know, like you got the inspiration to do it by Time Magazine. It's in noticing that trend. That's the most important thing, is like noticing the trend. And you can get that. The only way to do that is to pay attention to like the media, essentially. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
you know, on Twin Peaks, when Agent Cooper is basically a zombie, he's post Black Lodge Agent Cooper, and he's still in the zombie state.
Oh yeah, well, this is the baby state. He's a baby at that point.
Actually. Okay, so he's kind of whatever.
So he's learning how to like
baby state. He's in the
baby. He's in an infantile state.
What's the character's name? Who people Dougie. People think he's Dougie.
Oh, Dougie, yeah, he is.
So everyone thinks he's Dougie. He can't really even communicate to say I'm not Dougie, but what he can do is he can see almost on a prodigy level.
That's an amazing part. Yeah.
Shown information from the Black Lodge.
The slots, yeah.
Yeah, what slot machines are guaranteed winners.
Yeah.
And when I saw those Time magazines, like a light bulb went off. A light bulb went off. That's almost like a Black Lodge showing the winning money.
Right.
When I saw
that happens.
And immediately I thought, don't get those dumb ones. Get an obscure one that is cool to you. And I obsessed on this one Pokemon to the point where I still have 40 in my cupboard. Right now I have 40.
What?
Now they're not PSA 10s. I got 40 loose ones that people open the packs, but they're pack fresh, pack mint. So I'm going to have those 40 graded. And I think out of those 40, some might be worth $50, some might be worth $500. If I'm lucky, maybe one's worth $5,000. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Wow. I'm so happy for you. I hope you cash in on it. And that's no one deserves it more. And no, really,
I didn't know it was going to happen. See,
well, I'm sure.
I bought a bunch of Beanie Babies at a thrift store and I made $0. I actually made negative $60. So not everything's going to be a winner. Okay.
No, but like it just so happens that it's so cool when the universe rewards you back for something that you saw that long ago to notice, to think about in an obscure way, that so much so that it's paid off.
Maybe it was 2.5 years ago. Maybe it was 2.1 years.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever the time frame was, it was when I was thinking about the movie. I was buying stuff for the movie, like the very beginning.
The fact that it's for the movie is so symbolic too, because
I know.
And I wouldn't even, I would really treasure that and put that in like a safe or something. Like that is symbolic of like what's funding is going to be like part of like the most, not just as a director, but just our filmmaker, but getting the shots and everything in Japan.
Well, I made a promise to
Going
myself.
should change your outlook on life and everything. Probably be a life-changing experience.
You know Jim Carrey, how he had that $1 million check in his wallet,
Oh yeah, I heard about
and he
that.
eventually got the $1 million check in real life. It
I
manifested.
believe in that. I believe in that stuff.
I mean, this isn't the exact scenario, but
Kinda.
I had the card, and I put it up for what I thought was an insane amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Pokemon community immediately hated me. We're talking. I got 10 messages saying, "I'll give you nothing for it. I'll give you nothing.
When was this?
I'll give you less than nothing." It was almost like talking to the Pawn Stars guys. I'll give you 10 cents for it.
They have GoFundMe's now.
And so I had like the Pokemon community saying I was greedy, I was selfish.
When was this?
For it, I'll give you nothing for it. I'll give you nothing for it. And I told them, I told at least 4 guys, maybe 3 to 4 guys. I said, I don't care if I sell it in the next 15 years. I'm not in any hurry. Thank you. And then the thing sells 2 weeks later. In 2 weeks, that impossible amount. And I made a promise to myself that if I get that impossible amount,
2 weeks later?
Yes. I made a promise to myself, if I sell it for this impossible number, that I'm going to Japan guaranteed. So I have to go.
That happened?
It's part of the promise. I have to go.
I was thinking too that, first of all, that's amazing. And congratulations. And like I said before, no one deserves
Thank you.
more.
You know, I'm going to have to wait a month to make sure it's real. You know what I mean? Like, what if they say, "Oh, I want my money back"? You know what I mean? I mean, you never know.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
A lot of things happen. I don't want to jump the gun.
Be safe about it. Yeah. Take that cash immediately out of, yeah. Jeez. Yeah. But like we talking like, I don't even know the numbers, but like figure wise, how would you say?
The numbers?
Like, yeah, is it figure like 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 2-figure, 3?
Enough to go to Japan and hire a handful of extras and hire a cameraman. And I'm going to make sure the cameraman
and more, I would imagine.
I hope he can speak English because
that's awesome.
I don't know any Japanese other than arigato and konnichiwa.
You should start learning. You should really, yeah.
I know. I'm going to learn this specific phrase. I'm going to learn. Can I please film for a brief time in your shop? Can I film for a brief time in your shop? I will buy something.
Yeah.
I will buy something from you. Can I please just film for a small amount of time? And the shopkeep owners can say yes or no. So I can film Memory Alley.
Well, they respect.
But I can't film inside of any shops without permission. That's the Japanese way. You have to ask permission.
As long as you're, what I've known is, I've never been, but like I say, I've studied it through martial arts and all different stuff. But the way you negotiate that is that people of Japan really respect when you have good manners, which you do, I think, and when your tone of voice. So like you just said, can I please film in your shop? Like that is super, the more respect and reference that you show to the other person that, you know, you're with. That's why that if you watch their inner cities, everybody is respectful for the most part. Like traffic lights and things like that. So I think you'll see like that's what Zen really is, you know, like it's, but again, it's interesting, you know, the Yakuza shot that Bob Dylan shot actually a movie. It was supposed to be a movie by, do you ever hear the director Paul Schrader by any chance? No, he did some really cult classic. I think he wrote Taxi Driver is the big thing.
Oh, okay.
He wrote Taxi Driver, but he also directed stuff.
That's
whatever. But he directed this Bob Dylan type Connection to My Heart music video. It ended up being, and it was in Tokyo, and it's fascinating. Like he had a fascination with like Japan in the 80s, so he always filmed there. And he's all his movies like include like the Yakuza and stuff like that, which I bet you'll end up joining when you go there. You're going to end up joining the Yakuza. You're going to have to cut off a pinky like Jared Leto in that movie.
Oh my gosh! Like I've already seen a good 10 videos warning me of that gang.
Really?
And if a girl says, "Oh, come with me," don't come with any girl ever, because a lot of the time it's connected with the gang. And when you can't pay, the gang forces you to pay. So never follow any stranger girl. You don't know who she is. It can lead to an expensive room with a $10,000 bottle of booze, and then the gang forces you to pay.
You read about this?
I saw it on a couple Instagram videos.
Really?
I'm probably following 10, 20, 30 Japan
better be
touristy Instagram accounts showing you just the tour guide aspect of Japan.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, that's really cool, man. Wow. There's a really funny Conan went to Tokyo, I think, or Japan to have a proper, I forget the perfect Japanese term for it, but it's like a dinner essentially, but they call it something, and it's a whole ritual, and you sit down and how you order things at a restaurant, even, and it's with Jordan Slansky. I don't know if you've seen these. He's very particular, and he knows. He brought Conan to Italy, and
he's definitely unlikable, but that's his.
You're right. Well, at least yeah, exactly. He's kind of, but he's very like educated, like me. Kind of. He reminds me of me a little bit, like being annoyingly educated, like being like. And first, you sip the espresso like this, and you must. But before you do, you must take in the scent of the flavors of the region. You can smell it, like being like completely a dork about, foods and stuff like that. So, but Conan went there, and it's really fun. You should check it out. But
yeah, I mean, I want to get some exclusive things you really can't get anywhere else. I want to check out the authentic soy sauce from the 1,000-year-old soy sauce houses, and there's only a couple. There's only a couple.
There's 1,000-year soy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a 500-year-old soy sauce little barrel, and the barrel is 500 years old, and the taste of the soy sauce comes from 500-year-old fungus that's still alive on the barrel.
Wow!
There's only a handful of those left in existence, and I suspect that some of them will ship out the bad stuff, and they keep the good stuff for Japanese only.
Yeah.
And
do you know what cities
only available there?
Are you gonna go see like other places other than Tokyo? Like,
well, I only
Osaka,
have 10 days. I only have
Kyoto.
10 days.
That's true.
And if I get my shots, I'll start spreading out.
What about Mount Fuji? You think about Mount Fuji at all?
No.
No.
You got to understand. I got to get Memory Lane. I got to get Piss Alley, and that's my number one stop now.
Well, after that,
I'm gonna stop by the Harajuku area, and there's another one close by where it's Halloween, 365 days a year. It's always Halloween, and a lot of those. I mean, from what I've seen, they're very enthusiastic. I mean, there's a greaser gang. You've probably seen the greaser videos.
Yes, isn't it all Asia?
They're stuck in like the Elvis Presley greaser stage of the 50s. And these are like teenagers to old men, mostly old men, because this is a phase that's going away to an extent, or maybe it's
like rockabillys, yeah.
But the rockabilly people, they're amazing, and it's awesome, and I love it. And I can totally ask them to be in my movie, but we will see. So I got to learn.
That's a good idea.
I got to get a translator to ask for me, and I'm gonna have to get a permission slip. And I have to have it in Japanese. And what I mean by permission slip is an NDA, and I don't know how it works in Japan. But I'm going to have, this is a movie. Can I show your face in the movie? Please sign. And I have to get anyone who really has any feature their permission and their signature because it's a real movie.
I guess so.
I have to.
I don't know.
That's how it works. Now it's an international thing.
They might be suspicious when you bring out like a pen and paper. You know,
That is true. That is true. But I am going to have an NDA to an extent.
regardless, you're gonna get like some
It's
really
just
cool.
a
I
release.
could write a
Not really an NDA. It's just a release form. Can I put this in a movie?
yeah. I can help you write one.
I already know I'm going to be making my movie, right?
It's
I already.
easy.
This is how the scenario is going to go. I'm there at memory lane, and I'm setting up my camera, and I'm starting to film my first scene at memory lane, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to have like 10 live streamers and 10 TikTokers with equipment a million times more valuable than my equipment, making a TikTok video and making live streams. And my puny little movie camera is going to be nothing compared to these TikTokers that
That's
can
true.
overshadow everything. And they're going to think I'm there for them or whatever. So I really want to do it at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I don't know the curfew. I have to look up the curfew laws. And
Is there a curfew?
100%.
They are very strict, Chip. They've always, ever since, because what happened in World War II to them. The fact that they built themselves back up so fast and became so innovative, culturally. Have you ever seen any Akira Kurosawa films or anything like that?
Yeah, I've definitely seen Akira. It's the most famous.
He's one of my favorite
of all
directors.
time.
Yeah, me too. He's his stuff is like fantastic. But you're so lucky to go, so that's really cool.
Well,
I want to, keep going, but I want to talk about David Lynch and Twin Peaks too.
Yeah,
And
Twin
David
Peaks. Man, David Lynch, he knew something.
So hold on, before you say, for people that don't know, you just finished watching Twin Peaks, and you've been pretty much binge watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I avoided Twin Peaks my entire life, except for watching pretty much episode 1 and 2, maybe 3, back in 1990 when it first aired for the first time. So I did see Twin Peaks episode 1, 2, maybe 3 back in 1990. But I never got to any Black Lodge. I never got to any mysterious parts. I basically, all I saw was, coffee. Coffee. You want some coffee? Ooh, coffee.
It is kind of like that.
That was my entire opinion of what Twin Peaks was a guy drinking coffee and people like, did you find the killer of Laura Palmer? And he's like, well, I'll get to that, but first I need some coffee. Laura Palmer? Forget about that. I just want to drink some coffee, please. Can you put the pot of coffee on? We'll get to that murder mystery on the flip
just
side.
A minute.
I just want to get some coffee.
And do you have any pie, by the way? Yeah, cherry pie.
Well, he only had pie a very few times in the first 2 seasons. Only very few times. Only in season 3 did he have a bunch of pie, and people are obsessed with this pie thing. But season 1 and 2, he's all about coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Yeah, it's more about the coffee, that's for sure. It is funny that Kyle MacLachlan, who I love, he's an interesting guy. Mm-hmm. He did some work with, remember he was on Portlandia, and now he's on Fallout.
Yeah, I've only seen 15 minutes of Portlandia in my entire life.
Oh, really? I've seen a few episodes. It's really funny.
15 minutes. That's my.
He plays the mayor.
It's fun. It's funny.
He's the mayor. It's really funny.
I couldn't really get past. I couldn't get past maybe the episode I watched. Maybe I picked a bad one. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some cringy, not so good episodes and parts and whatever. But he is, as the mayor, he's very funny. Really just.
I'll check it out.
But
I lived in Portland. I lived in Portland for 6 months.
Did you really?
I know what it's like. It was the year 2000. So the year 2000, I lived in Portland.
In the year 2000.
And I went to the 4th of July event in Portland, just watching the fireworks.
Never heard. Oh, okay. What is it?
And got to hang out and check it out. And I did go to a Wu-Tang Clan concert.
No way.
So the year 2000, Wu-Tang Clan.
We're talking Wu-Tang Forever had just come out, I think.
watch them perform.
They're not that good.
And of course, I was waiting for ODB to come out.
Oh, he's
And
my
the
favorite.
first thing they announced was ODB is still in jail. So
No.
put up your hands for ODB. Hopefully he's out
That's
soon.
cool.
So I never got to see ODB.
I
And of course,
love
he's passed
ODB.
away since then, but he was my favorite. He was my favorite Wu-Tang.
Do you ever listen to his final album, Big Baby Jesus?
I've definitely heard tracks from it, but I don't think I've heard the whole thing. I focus on its 5.
You probably heard "Baby, I Got Your Money, Don't You Want?"
Yeah, I've heard that one.
That's on there, but the whole album from beginning, it starts off incredible. I used to play it, and it was like not too many people paid attention to it, but like you said, it was one of those obscure.
I mean, Conan O'Brien paid attention to it.
How? I don't understand.
In his monologue, Conan was like, "Man, I wish I knew the whole joke. I can look up the joke."
That's okay, but I don't know, whatever. But like he said, so ODB, that record was so good, but like from beginning to Big Baby Jesus is called, and it had like different. It was like censored. It was his last album. I'm pretty sure it was ODB's last album.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was produced by Pharrell, and I didn't know that until like fairly recently, just recent. My girlfriend pointed it out. She's like, "Wow," because like the beats were like dun 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 dun, like it's just like maybe like once you hear it, it's like, oh, that's Pharrell, But like ODB with Pharrell, it's like a fantastic album, and I think they just released a deluxe version not too long ago. But he was my favorite too. So you saw him live in 2000 in Portland.
Well, I didn't see ODB. He was in jail.
No, but I mean, you saw them.
But I saw pretty much the entire other crew: Ghostface Killer, RZA.
Yeah, I saw them recently. They weren't that great at all. Unfortunately, this comes from.
I saw them like at the height of their career, the year 2000.
They probably were great. When I saw them, it was a mess, to be honest with you. It was just really, and I was unfortunate because I'm a huge fan, and that could have been because they're used to like intimate atmospheres or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But who I love is, and I think you probably know, is the RZA too. And like the stuff that he's done in films. I don't know if you've seen. Have you ever seen Jim Jarmusch films at all? Do you know anybody?
Jim Jarmusch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Jim Jarmusch films. Dead Man, starring Johnny Depp, is directed by
him.
He's a good director.
That's right. So he also did a movie with RZA. And RZA's in Coffee and Cigarettes, that movie that he also did with it's like these short like two people meeting. Meg White and Jack White have a Tesla coil. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't think so. No.
It's interesting. It's cool. It's all black and white, and it's Iggy Pop meets Tom Waits, and it's very interesting. But it's all these different characters. But RZA's in that too, with Bill Murray, and he sits down with, I think, another Wu-Tang Clan member. But anyway, I'm a big fan too. Kyle MacLachlan, Twin Peaks. He doesn't have pie that often. Okay, let's move on to the bigger things.
Well,
Blue Rose.
You want to talk about Blue Rose?
Yeah, I do. I really do, because we don't have too much time.
Well, David Lynch. I just want to talk about David Lynch a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
I think he obviously he was famous for the transcendental meditation, and that was basically his belief system. And
You think he's famous?
It's actually pretty famous in Hollywood. A lot of the less religious, famous actors, they're going to be into this, into that, into here, into there, and TM is one of the popular choices. I mean, Seinfeld is a TM transcendental meditation guy. Seinfeld said before he did an episode of taping, he would meditate. He said before writing an episode, he would meditate. He said it's what got him through the show.
Yeah,
and so David Lynch, I'm sure he would attribute that. And there's many clips of him saying how much it helped him in his creative process.
Still in your mind again, yeah.
I think David Lynch knew some legitimate occult secrets.
Absolutely. What do you think? What do you think? What?
Well, let me tell you. I can tell you one of the bigger ones just off
Okay.
the bat. One of the bigger secrets David Lynch knew of in the
And
occult.
and you're one of the fresh. You're fresh off of watching it.
I'm fresh off watching
Twin
season
Peaks.
3 after
The Return.
consecutively. Maybe I'm one of the few people on Earth.
That's what I'm saying.
The new generation are going to be just like me. I watched season 1, season 2, and season 3. Well, I watched season 1, season 2. I watched the movie Fire Walk with Me, and then I watched season 3 back to back for the first time.
It's also you.
First
So
time.
yeah. So anyway, go ahead. So what did he know about the occult secrets?
Well, Fire Walk with Me.
Yeah.
Itself, those 4 words, Fire Walk with Me, is an occult secret.
Okay. How?
It's an extreme occult secret.
Really?
It's not even on the superficial level of walking on fire, or if you didn't know anything about it, you might think he got it inspirationally from, that walking on coals, that
Right.
walking on coals.
That's what I thought, kind of. Yeah.
That's what would come to my mind if
what-
I didn't know any better.
Right. When I first, yeah.
But I think
Years
David
ago.
Lynch heard the phrase "Fire Walk with Me" from a negative entity. I think he heard it. I think he heard it from a spirit, possibly while
That just scared the crap out of me.
possibly
Whoa.
while meditating, possibly while asleep, possibly while awake. But I think "Fire Walk with Me," he heard a negative entity speak those words, and he became so
That's
obsessed with
interesting.
it. He intertwined it in Twin Peaks.
I think he did that a lot. Yeah.
He named the Twin Peaks movie after it, and then he basically ends the show repeating it again. So both seasons.
What do you mean repeating it again? How do you mean?
At the very end of season 3, they repeat.
It's been a while since, yeah.
And what does it mean? Well, more important on what does it mean is he got the information.
Right.
He got the phrase. He got.
How do you know it's from a demon?
From a demon.
What makes you think that it's from a demon?
Because I was just contemplating it, thinking, what does it mean? What does "Fire Walk with Me" mean? I was thinking. And then I was struck with, oh, crud. Because for those who don't know, my occult library, I can just grab a random book. I could just grab a random book out of my occult library.
You have a good one. Very good one, actually.
We just
If
grab.
you still have the books that I'm thinking of.
Just grab a random one. Here's a random one.
What's that one?
The Book of Black Magic and of Pacts. Now, I've never read this one thoroughly. I skimmed through it because I'm not really big into that. But it was an
Except going to Tokyo. Yeah.
An L.W. Lawrence book, and I wanted to check it out.
Those are nice, man. Yeah.
Why would I even buy such a book? Because for those who followed me and know about my history, I was bothered by negative entities, negative spirits.
Yes. Yeah.
Not on a David Lynch level of this is a fantasy and this is from a TV show. See, I never watched that show until recently, but he pulled from inspirational things that are written down, like Tolpa's. Clearly, he was a fan of the Dalai Lama. He was a fan of the freedom of Tibet and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He was a fan of meditating, and he probably wanted to be like the Buddha and just get as much insight as he can from the different realms. And I think he did peer into the different realms, and I think David Lynch did see into a Black Lodge type of a thing in real life. At least while he's meditating, maybe he left his body and actually went to a place which he calls the Black Lodge.
Now, what do you think? Wait, hold on. Because
back in 2010, was it 2010? Yeah, 2010. Back in the year 2010, when I was first initiated into the realm of these beings exist. Mm-hmm. And I don't like to talk about this in great detail, so I'm not going to. But a negative entity spoke 4 words to me, and I've never revealed those 4 words.
No.
And I never will reveal the 4 words, but I can reveal that they were not fire walk with me.
Okay, I was
It
going to
didn't
say.
say fire, it didn't say walk, it didn't say with, and it didn't say me.
Right.
It said 4 different words.
Okay.
So I have a key of information of I know how these entities speak in real life.
It's 4 words. Yeah.
And for anyone to say,
It is
"Oh, that guy's
pretty hard.
crazy," the guy hears things. I've never heard any disembodied voice before, and I've never heard a disembodied voice since. Only in 2010. Only on February 17th, 2010. Never before, never after.
Mhm.
And so, on a scientific level, if I were to talk to a doctor, they would say, "Oh well, I mean, it would either repeat or of a spiral, blah blah blah." But the fact that it's a one-time incident, it's more legitimately an authentic experience that you had. Well, that's strange, and there it is. Now,
Yeah.
most investigators like Zach Bagans, they'll go to 100 haunted places. They'll Google what's the most haunted place on earth, and they'll go there and they'll sit there for 48 hours trying to capture evidence. And I'm sure he's heard a disembodied thing at least once or twice because he sought it. He went out of his way to seek it.
Right. Yeah.
I did actually ghost investigate for a while, but I wasn't trying to get disembodied voices necessarily.
Right.
But back on February 17th, 2010, I heard 4 words from a disembodied entity, and the words are similar enough where I believe Lynch heard those 4 words from a negative entity because I
Okay.
heard 4 similar words from a negative entity.
Okay, they're
Can't reveal
similar.
what the 4 words are. Maybe in a book in the future, I will reveal those words. Maybe when I'm 20 years down the road. See, that's how much I don't want to reveal it.
That's interesting. Well, at least they're similar in the fact just that they're 4 words. Even.
Yeah, 4 words. I even, to be more specific, to prove what these words are, I even broke it down. How many letters are in each word?
Really?
And
Is it
in
close?
David Lynch's 4
Syllables
words,
and yeah.
we have fire, walk
With
with
me.
me, which equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Looks like 14 words, right?
Mm-hmm. I guess so, yeah.
With the 4 words I heard,
Yeah.
and this is something I know of a surety of a fact is a real thing. Other people are going to see it as an anecdotal, okay, it's hearsay, it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not hearsay. For me,
Right.
it's not word of mouth.
Who
And
knows?
what I heard was 4 words. And the number of letters in these 4 words combined, because that's the only way I'm going to reveal it right now. It's 16.
Okay, well, that's pretty close.
16 letters.
How many syllables though? Like that's not what I think might be interesting. Fire is 1,
Is
right?
fire 1 or is it 2?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Fire. You can have it 1.
Pick
Fire.
1.
Fire. Walk with
4.
me.
It's 4. Yeah, that makes sense.
Fire with an accent. It's pretty much 4.
Okay.
Mine is the first word has 2 syllables and the rest are 1 syllable.
Okay. So different.
A little bit different, unless you say fire with 2 syllables. Unless you say fire, walk with me.
Yeah. Well, all right. So I want back to the Black Lodge, right? So like, so you've seen all of it. So you've seen the episode so you've seen where Jeffries, played by David Bowie,
is the water tank. David Bowie is famously transformed, metamorphosized into a water tank.
I watched that live, by the way, when the Sunday that was on, and I was so looking forward to something happening, and to see that, and then and see how Jeffries was instrumental to absolutely everything, and Lynch went out of his way to make that little sliver of what Bowie did in that movie. Make it's the hinge almost on which the entire
I know.
series relies.
Bowie even points at Cooper and says, "Do you know
Who
who
do you
that is?
who do you think that is
Who do you
there?
think that is
And
there?"
it's Bowie. It's funny because it's Bowie doing a Southern accent, and he does it really well. It's like
Well,
can be
Bowie
convincing.
was a artistic genius himself, and he probably decided to do it that way. And Lynch isn't going to tell him to do it any other way. So I
No,
think that's probably how that went. There's a
gosh.
photograph of Lynch and Bowie on set
Oh yeah, they were
that
friends.
day, right?
Yeah.
And Lynch is next to Bowie, and Bowie's laughing because Bowie sees that there is like a director's actor's chair that says David Bowie on it. And the joke is that he has a 5-second cameo, yet he has
Oh
a
yeah,
chair with his name on it.
that's funny.
He's like in the set and out the set the same day in a few seconds, and yet he had his own chair. So
Right.
I think either it's a joke or B, Lynch wanted him for maybe another scene a little bit longer. Or
Probably.
maybe David was such a big fan, which he clearly
I
was.
think so.
But
Yeah.
maybe he just wanted to watch the rest of the filming of that day. But
Yeah.
I wish Bowie was in there for a couple episodes.
We
Not
all
5
do.
seconds.
We all do. I know. But it is cool that they did go out of their way to make everything hinge on
Yeah, I know.
Philip
He's
Jeffries. So
very
anyway,
important character.
but
And
Jeffries was onto the
I
Black
digress.
Lodge.
What was that?
Jeffries was the one that was really onto the Black Lodge, and
Yeah.
and Project Blue Rose
Mhm.
was set up to study this entity called Judy that
Mhm.
was sort of released with and that's what I really wanted to talk to you about was
Mhm.
regarding Lynch was episode 8 of The Return, which is White Sands, New Mexico. That's the scene of the atomic.
It's
What did you think? What did you think of that scene when it just
Well,
did you
it's the
watch it
most,
on the big screen? How did you
yeah,
watch
I
it?
watch it on my big screen TV, and
Yeah,
it's the most cinematic,
thing on television I've ever
beautiful
seen.
aspect of all of the Twin Peaks. It
Yeah.
is the I think it's the perfect connector to Eraserhead, his first film.
Yes.
It
Yes.
just looks
Good
like a
point.
scene straight out of Eraserhead.
Yeah, it
It's very
does.
beautiful. It's very interesting. I enjoyed
But
it.
what I found interesting was if you go to that timing and like there's videos on this and there's one video that's 6 hours long, but the guy actually really does a good job in nailing what Twin Peaks is about. But like um, the date, that really is a date in history where they did test the atomic bomb.
Yeah. I
And
mean, among ufologists, I'm sure you're going to go down that route or something. But
no, but not
among
that.
the UFO community,
I
that
don't know
is the
about this.
date that attracted the Roswell aliens.
Really? I
And
didn't know.
so
I
that
knew
is the
something
date
about
that
that.
interdimensional beings entered this world. I'm sure Lynch would have heard of that and knew of that.
Huh.
So Lynch is interpreting these beings.
I don't think it's just UFOs.
Like the atomic bomb not only got the attention of, but ripped a hole between dimensions.
But other people were saying that it was like it wasn't just like UFO people that were saying it because like the people instrumental in building that bomb were saying right, like Oppenheimer and like people like Jack Parsons were like experimenting with the head of JPL and all that, and like they really like in the splitting of the atom even right, like those they were saying like maybe we've like Oppenheimer said I have become death, so they were like that, but I think you're right. And like if you notice behind Gordon Cole's desk, who's played by David Lynch, he has a big picture of the atomic bomb going off. It's huge. It's the only thing in his office pretty much. But anyway, I'm glad but so you see in that shot of like from the perspective and you go into the eye of the atomic and like everything freezes and there's this like creepy background music that's like I guess Lynch, I don't know if he filmed like nature sounds and like this weird drumming pattern, and what happened was it basically unleashed this demon and it goes right into the microcosm of it, and like this demon like spits out it's kind of gross in a way, right? But like it's ink blot. I don't know how he did that, but it seems to be like maybe oil and like little blots that he captured on camera. I don't know how he did it, but it's really fascinating. And then you cut to these beings who are bearded, dirty men asking for a light in a radio station in a convenience store, by the way.
I mean, they're clearly demons.
What do you think? That's what you think? Yeah, okay.
I know that the Twin Peaks nerds, they're like, oh, those are electronic entities and they're covered in soot.
Yes. I've heard that.
They're electronic entities and they are always covered in soot because just the way they go in and out, they're always going to be covered in
I've heard that,
of the electricity and it's definitely interesting aspect. I think generically speaking, they're demons.
Yeah.
And they give superpowers. And I thought it was
Sure.
I got to talk about this a little bit. I mean, so Agent Cooper, he sees shining above the slot machine. He pulls it, he wins. That is straight out of Roger Morneau's story.
That's true, isn't it?
So Roger Morneau and a lot of people who maybe only skimmed over Roger's story.
That's right.
What Roger said. Roger was asked by the guy interviewing him. And yes, the guy interviewing Roger was a Seventh-day Adventist, and Roger was a Seventh-day Adventist. But it doesn't matter. The guy was genuinely curious. He said, hey, Roger, how did you know that horse was going to win? Like, did it say this is the winner?
Right.
Like, how did you know? And Roger is French, predominantly French speaking. So he doesn't speak English on a perfect level. He speaks French on a perfect level, and he has to translate it the best he can. So Roger, you really almost have to watch everything Roger ever said on his few interviews multiple times to really grasp
Good point.
exactly what he's
I
talking
agree.
about. And Roger said, clairvoyance. And clairvoyance, okay. But the guy asked again, and Roger was very specific only one time. Roger said, oh, he saw a picture of the horse and the horse shone.
Ooh,
exactly like Twin Peaks, shining above the slot machine. Now, Roger's seeing this in a vision as opposed to being at the horse race, but maybe when he was at the horse race, it shone again. I mean, we don't know because we didn't get a follow-up question. But shone, Roger's saying it lit up. It was shining. That's how he knew number 13 was going to win. Number 13.
That does happen.
Lit up. And that is straight out of Twin Peaks. Wow. Now, I don't think
that's an occult secret. I think
that's a legit occult secret. I don't think David Lynch ever heard of Roger Morneau in his life. Maybe, but it's possible. It's theoretical.
Maybe.
I say the same thing about Dan Aykroyd, because the painting in Dan Aykroyd's story is of an evil wizard, and it exactly matches the description of the painting of the devil in Roger Morneau's story. But I can't prove Dan Aykroyd never heard of Roger Morneau.
With Aykroyd, I would. It might be possible. I bet it's more possible
because this is a Canadian guy whose book was published in Canada. Dan Aykroyd is from Canada. Dan Aykroyd,
and he pays attention to all that,
researching the occult. He does. Maybe just for the movie alone.
He knows all about that. He probably watches our show for all we know.
That is a mega occult secret that if you are given superpowers.
Shining. And do you think that's the real meaning?
As generic as being a Dougie, not knowing what's going on, and something
that's a good point,
Now, if that happens to you, pay attention to it. It's not always going to be negative. I think the positive world can shine a positive thing in your direction as well.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So there's different sides of every coin. There's going to be the positive, the negative. Yeah. You don't have to be initiated in any evil occult thing to see the shining.
But Lynch shows
you can naturally get it from the Supreme Being, I believe.
Lynch shows that, like in I think in the dichotomy, you can see the evil characters and the good characters, and how it's like it goes through every level of society, from like the trailer park, right? People, and he put like, Harry Dean Stanton before he passed away as well. One of his old longtime buddies and great actor, and for a long time, at one of the minor characters. But you can see like evil being done on a everyday level, just from choices that people make, or like, like situations that people are at. And I think the whole thing in Twin Peaks is that it's a story about a missing girl, but it's more than that. It's the macro. I've heard it described this way, and I thought it was really good. It's a micro macrocosm of America, because you have every single aspect of it right there. You have aliens. You have Project Blue Book, I think you said too. It inspired X-Files. But like also you had the occult, you have science, you have spiritual truths, but also just really good filmmaking. You know what I mean? I thought what did you think of the musical guests on the Return and that kind of?
Yeah, I think Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails did a good job.
I thought that was the best one too.
I think Eddie Vedder was.
Eddie Vedder was good too. I thought was great. Yeah.
I mean, obviously Eddie Vedder is a huge fan. I mean, Billy Corgan's also a huge fan. So I'm surprised. I like Billy Corgan. Surprised Billy Corgan wasn't on one of those episodes. I bet he wishes he was, because he's on record saying that he submitted a song for like Lost Highway or one of Lynch's movies, and that Lynch rejected it.
Oh, really?
And then he's like, crap, this isn't good enough. So Billy Corgan's such a fan of Lynch, he made a second song and hoped he would. And Lynch said, okay, I'll use that.
Oh, wow.
So there is a Billy Corgan song in one of the Lynch movies. And that's how much musicians appreciate and see Lynch for the great director he is.
What did you think? Last episode, I think I recommended, what is it? It's not Clowny Clown Time. It's David Lynch's clown song, Party Time or something like that. Did you listen to that or watch the video? What do you think of it? What do you think of David Lynch?
I don't think I watched it. Sorry, I'll check.
Okay, all right, you gotta check it out for next time. It's very interesting. But
I think
his
Lynch,
music, he had a good appreciation for music.
You have to watch everything Lynch ever did to really get an appreciation for him.
I agree. Have you seen Elephant Man?
Watch one thing, you're like, Wild at Heart. He's kind of a quirky director. I love Wild at Heart. It's one of my favorite Lynch movies. But if you only watch that, you won't really get the context of his whole body of work, how great of an artist.
It's okay. Yeah, I do like it too. Have you seen Inland Empire?
I've
That's
heard
a tough one.
I think it won. Didn't it win awards?
I don't know about that. It won award because it was released on DVD. Actually, yeah. It was
I don't. That's one of the ones. Now I'm saying you have to see everything. I haven't seen everything.
Elephant Man.
I'm a fan of Lynch from his Dune 1983 movie, and no one else was a fan from that. So I went from Dune to Eraserhead to Blue Velvet to Lost Highway to Mulholland Drive to Peaks. Okay. I just haven't seen everything, and I'll check it out. I'll check out
Inland Empire.
Looks like his favorite actress is starring in it.
Yep, but it's
He definitely loved Laura Dern on a level where he said, you probably saw the picture, the video, the photo of him. For your consideration, he really wanted Laura Dern to win an Oscar.
And her mother too. Yeah. Well, he considered it like a family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She was in like everything, but in the Empire, the production of it was that like it was a big deal. It was only released. I think David Lynch went on tour and released the DVDs personally. Mm-hmm. So it was very limited, but people immediately made copies and stuff and went around. So I got my brother got a copy of it early, like early. And it was one of the first, I watched Eraserhead first and then that. Mm-hmm. And then I saw Elephant Man, which...
I definitely seen Elephant Man. Yeah, Elephant Man.
Absolutely amazing.
Had to be the second Lynch movie I saw.
Which I had no idea was Lynch, by the way, at the time.
I didn't know either. I just remember I watched Elephant Man, and then I heard Michael Jackson Bought the Bones.
No way.
The back to back. That's how I
That's so
introduced to
funny.
the Elephant Man.
That's
I was
so
like,
cool.
why would you buy the bones? It's such a sad story. I wouldn't
Yeah, that's
want
so
the
true.
sadness. I would, if I bought the bones of the Elephant Man, I would give him a
Yeah.
proper burial. I'd bury him immediately.
Well, it's clearly because you wanted to resurrect him, you know. Remember he
Well,
had him dancing in a video or something? There was like he was dancing.
I mean, it was his bones were kept for scientific reasons, but now that we have that science, put him to rest. You know what I
No,
mean?
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like Michael Jackson.
I know he famously put it in one of his music videos.
Did he? I think he
That
did,
was just
right? I'm not.
CGI. That's just CGI.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
They
Okay.
took photos of it and they made it CGI dancing. Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah. So anyway, so your Twin Peaks recommend. Would out of 5 bags of popcorn, how many bags? Would
Well,
you
I recommend Twin Peaks greatly. The movie is not going to be for everyone. I could see why the movie isn't so huge that I independently watched it separate from the show, because you have to watch the show if you're going to watch the movie. You can't separate the movie from the show. Stand alone, the movie wouldn't be considered great. But in the context of the show, the movie is great. It's a very atmospheric movie, Firewalker.
Okay. Oh,
The
definitely.
show, Twin Peaks, I went from thinking it's, did you find the killer yet? Hold on a couple of weeks. I'm drinking my coffee. Thank you very much. I went from that to it's now one of my favorite shows of all time. It's
Wow.
my favorite show of all time is The Prisoner,
Me
1967.
too. Oh yeah, really.
My second favorite show of all
Fun.
time is Max Headroom, 1987.
Great choices.
And my third favorite show, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it changes from the X-Files to the Twilight Zone to this and this and that. But
Yeah,
I think it's Twin Peaks now. I think my third favorite show is now Twin Peaks because it has a lot going for it. It has a lot of interesting twists and turns.
Yeah, it's a macrocosm of America.
But like my fourth favorite show is The Magicians. I'm a fan of The Magicians.
Show too. I like that when that came out. Yeah, but you're a bigger fan. You have the actual book.
I have a signed copy of The Magicians.
Not even open. Look at that.
Never opened because I got to keep it in pristine mint condition.
Yeah.
But I think the author, Lev Grossman, is a really talented guy.
That's him? That's his author? That's Les Grossman's, huh?
Yep.
He wrote that.
His name is Lev Grossman.
That's right. Lev Grossman, right. Got it. Yeah, very good. But you also have like a banner from the set, right? And from
pretty
cool.
You can't really see it, but
what's the press? So the premise is basically this Paramount. Yeah, you can see it, yeah. So those Greek letters. Oh, we fell. But yeah, those Greek letters right there.
It's the one and only banner from the show. This is the ONL, which of course stands for Netherland Librarians, Order of the Netherland Librarians.
Interesting. Oh yeah, okay.
It's its own planet. It's a planet. It's a donut-shaped planet.
No way.
With nothing but library books and a library. That's it. And it's the library of everything. So it's kind of like the Akashic Records.
Right. Yes.
Something to that effect.
Right.
And I have the only
There's a Doctor Who episode like that too.
The only banner in existence. And it's screen matched. It's the one from the show. They reused it a couple times in a couple episodes. And I thought there's going to be another one. There's only one. So I got lucky. I snagged it. And I would say the value is a lot, but it's not for sale. I'm too big of a fan, you know.
I think people will eventually find that show again, like years down the road, because I do think it was a great show.
Yeah.
Especially the first season, I thought was really good. But that's really cool. But yeah, so Twin Peaks, one of your top. I would say Twin Peaks for me too. It's definitely top 5. I have to throw The Simpsons in there just because, but it's a totally different genre. You know
Twilight Zone in there.
Twilight Zone has to be up there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Rod
they did.
He's amazing.
What are some of your favorite Twilight Zone episodes? I'll tell you, mine is a couple of mine.
Man, I have the DVD set. I have to rewatch it again. I've seen every single episode.
Can I tell you mine?
Wasn't there one with Pool Master? Wasn't there a Pool Master one?
Probably. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure there's the greatest pool player of all time.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
And someone wanted to be the greatest. And the greatest was like, play me a game. And he thought it would be very hard, but the greatest lost on purpose because he didn't want to be in hell anymore. The greatest was in hell. And he traded places with him. He's like, no, you're the greatest. And you're in hell forever. Sayonara, peace out. That's kind of a deep episode.
A lot of those people that wrote for that were really like Lovecraftian, like corresponded with him or a friend like Robert Bloch. There's an episode that was they're obviously short horror stories, but the one that I really like, I don't know if you'll remember this one, right? Is this family, this very wealthy family, comes over. They get invited to come over because their father is passing away, and his will go into effect when he dies, and they're waiting for their money, their inheritance. So they all show up. Yeah, they all show up, and they're like, okay, he has one condition.
You have to wear the mask.
They have to wear it only till midnight. And midnight, you can take off. It's fine. But this is just what? This is stupid. What is father thinking? Right? They put on these hideous like.
It's a classic. Yeah, it's a mega classic.
These masks are just so nightmarish. They're seared. They will sear into your brain. And so then midnight comes, and he dies. And then they're like, we're millionaires. And but they can't take off the masks, and that was just that was a great Twilight Zone. There's also the one of my favorites where this guy and because as a book lover, you gotta poke fun at yourself. There's like it's like the end of
you're talking about the most famous one of all time.
Is that the most famous one of all time? I didn't know that.
The book, and he breaks his glasses, and I have time to read now. That one's been spoofed many, many, many times on the Simpsons.
I guess it has. It probably has.
Spoofed all over the place.
That's also one of my favorites.
It's in the top 3 most famous, most definitely.
Yeah.
I like the one where
the movie's good too.
I think he buys a newspaper. And he buys something, or maybe it's just, I think it's a newspaper, unless he's donating money. But he throws a quarter in, and it falls not heads or tails, but it falls on the side. And he throws it in the thing, and it lands on the top.
Okay.
And the guy's like, oh, I've never seen that before. And the guy's like, yeah, me neither. So for the rest of the episode, I think the guy can hear everyone's thoughts.
Oh.
He works at a bank, and he can read everyone's thoughts.
Okay, I think I remember.
An old man who is like the janitor. And the janitor's like, I'm going to come in at this time and load up the trash cans with money bags, and no one will know. And then he finds out later that it's just a fantasy that the janitor has every day. He's not actually going to do it. Right. And he calls the cops with that information, and the janitor admits he thinks about it, but he's not going to do it.
Right.
And so he has to interpret what people's thoughts mean. They're not always literal,
Right.
So at the end of the episode, the quarter falls, and then he can't hear anyone's thoughts anymore. That's a very interesting one.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I gotta rewatch them, man. The redo that they try to do with Jordan Peele wasn't that great on CBS. I didn't think it.
Outer Limits is better than that.
Yeah, the Outer Limits was pretty good too. We have taken over your television. I used to be.
Tales of the Crypt was better than that.
Tales of the Crypt was great.
A great show.
I would stay I would always ask my friends this when we watch Tales from the Crypt to stay up late. In the very beginning when you're going through the perspective as you're going into the crypt keeper's house, and you have to go down the stairs, and he pops out of his coffin and laughs at you. If you had to stay somewhere in that house, where would like to avoid the crypt keeper if you could, and you had to like stay somewhere to hide from him? Where would you hide?
That's the most generic question. I don't get the context.
No, you know the intro where you have to go into the crypt keeper and you see the house, right? And you go down the stairs. It's like a spiral staircase.
Just hang out exactly behind the coffin. When he opens it, he doesn't.
That's a good point too. Yeah. I always thought you could just stay right on the top of the stairs, sort of like out of his view. Like as soon, you know what I mean? My friend,
no, I never once had that thought ever.
No, I always thought like if you had to stay at the crypt keeper's house, yeah, you'd be right at the stairs because you could go out the front door if you needed to, right? You could hear if somebody was coming down to the basement or if somebody was coming up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just to avoid the crypt keeper, because you want to avoid the crypt keeper. You know what I mean? I don't know. He had a good sense of humor though, didn't he? The crypt keeper. He was a little rascal.
Did you see the one where Arnold Schwarzenegger is there?
No, tell me about it. I forget this. I forgot about this.
Well, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger made a cameo.
Did he?
And the crypt keeper is like wearing gym clothes and
really
lifting weights. It's such a weird crossover.
He did it. He existed as a character for like many years in like weird comic book fiction and stuff like that. Which some of that is great. They did like a really great compilation. I wish I owned it. Maybe I should get it, but it's a very thick book of just a collection of all these mad 5 cent and dime, penny and dime, whatever. I don't know, nickel and dime. I don't know what the phrase is, but comic books, they just printed so many, and you understand why Lovecraft like wrote so much that he did, and we're still discovering more. Not just Lovecraft, but like Robert Bloch, who famously did I think even wrote for Star Trek and wrote like some of the iconic Star Trek and Twilight Zone episodes that are just some of the best ones. I forget off the top of my head which ones, but they wrote so much,
Didn't I talk about Sofubi the last episode? Did I show the Sofubi?
Yes, but you got to show it again. I think it's part of your film.
I don't have it with me.
Oh, okay. These
but
things are cool.
I was like, Sofubi, I finally got some Japanese authentic stuff. And now I can actually go to Japan and get it there and see what the price is for real. Because all I see is inflated fake prices for a rich American.
Right. It's true.
I want to see the real prices. I think they're going to be dirt cheap over there. I'm going to get Sofubi. I'm probably going to get a box of Sofubi and mail it to myself because
that's the way to go. I think at
the airport they open everything and make sure you're not
ship it back. Yeah, just ship it back.
Like if you buy a bunch of Pokemon cards, the TSA
could take them.
Will look at them and they'll rifle through them and like mess them up. They could
totally take them. Yeah, they could do like whatever.
Open packs. That's what I saw in some Nightmare video. So you can ship it back to yourself. It's a little safer.
Absolutely.
The Japanese are huge fans of the Ultima series, believe it or not.
Are they really?
And I'm a huge Ultima fan. I want to get some Japanese Ultima stuff.
What do they have that you have your eyes set on?
Like I already have a big set of the Japanese Ultima.
I know you have like everything.
I paid through the nose for them. Like I know for a fact that I bought 3 Japanese games on eBay, and I know for a fact it was a drop shipper who lives in Japan, who then bought it from Japanese Yahoo auctions and then resold it to me. So he didn't even have it as auctions. Wow. He bought it from someone else after I bought it from him, just so he can jack up the price. But I didn't care because it's that hard to get it in America. It's that hard.
Yahoo auctions? Wow.
Yahoo is the #1 auction site in Japan. Not eBay, but Yahoo auctions.
What? That's so interesting.
Because they started way back in the day and it took off. And it's like one of the only things probably keeping Yahoo together these days. I don't know, but it's still popular in Japan. But I'm
Very
just going to
cool.
go to the shops and with my eyeballs, pay for it.
Yeah.
And my eyeballs are going to pay for it. But man, I'm going to have to convert it to yen. And I heard the yen is weak to the dollar right now, so that's a good thing,
Good for you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. That's a great. I know. I know you don't like him, but Tim Heidegger went
I
there
don't
for.
dislike Tim. I don't dislike.
Uh,
I
but he
think the
went.
podcast is pretty cool.
He went there for like I forget, like maybe a month in the summer last
Hmm.
year, and lived there for a month and
Hmm.
loved it, and like did some funny videos, but like went with his whole family and all this stuff.
Hmm.
He did film some of it. It was pretty interesting. Like some of what I found pretty interesting. I didn't know were the signs and stuff. Did you ever see like the signs they have and like for like
Funny
like
song.
yeah, there was one. It was an advertisement. It looked like a public announcement,
Mhm.
but it was like it showed like the nervous a naked body and just like a cadaver, and it showed the nervous system and the skeletal system,
Mhm.
right, from the front and from the behind,
Mhm.
and then it showed another panel down below where it showed it was an it showed like some kind of like alien monster
Mhm.
on the spine and infecting the brain, the actual nerve brain. Like it went to specific, and the next panel was like specific. It would look like a scientific
Mhm.
research paper, but it was like movie poster size. It
Oh,
was incredible, like stuff like that. Like what the
yeah,
heck?
that reminds me. I was looking at vintage and antique Japanese signs, and they're impossible to find in America.
Are they really?
Find as replicas and garbage. I want to now. I'm going to go
Get
to
some?
antique stores. Hopefully,
Yeah,
get some real one.
absolutely.
Specifically, danger signs or cool signs. Made out of porcelain, made out of metal,
Yeah,
and just it's
ship
very
it
hard to
back.
find them in America. Very hard to find. But
Smart of you.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they got them over there.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too much to ship. I don't know what the shipping is, but like if I were you, I would ship the stuff, Yeah, that's the
Everyone's
goal.
into Pokemon and
Well,
Nintendo games,
right now, but I would I'll be on the
Nintendo,
lookout for stuff that maybe
PlayStation, Game Boy. I'm not really into that stuff. I'm gonna
right.
get signs and Sofubi and Ultima PC games. I'm gonna get stuff that nobody else likes. Hopefully,
That's what I'm talking about. That'd be cool. Yeah. There's so much stuff. There's so much like and the cool do you know what I'm learning right now? This is why I forget. Why I don't know why I didn't bring this up, but so part of my job is taking the students off campus and stuff. And I lead the sailing group, boating. So they learn how to sail. But in the wintertime, up until the springtime, launch time, we work on boats. And this year we were learning, we've made an oar out of Japanese, all Japanese materials. So four oars that are going to eventually be used and everything. But we made them out of Japanese spruce, which is a tree, spruce. It's lightweight, but it's good. And I think it's spruce anyway. Anyway, we've sanded these things down, cut them with these Japanese hand tools
Mhm.
that like it's like it just takes forever, right? I mean, we've been working on it bit by bit and measuring things and doing it takes and you have to hammer it, but it takes so little. And you can get these like Japanese hand tools on eBay, not eBay, just like Amazon or something.
Mhm.
Really, like not too expensive, but like Japanese woodworking is just it's known to the craftsmanship is known to be really good. But we're making oars like boats, for boats,
Mhm.
and just like their wood craftsmanship is just really cool. Like their whole technique, it's like our American technique is like kind of powerful and one directional. Theirs
Mhm.
is more like using the direction and going with. And if you like, let's say you encounter a part of the wood where it kind of sticks,
Mhm.
like don't force it out. You know what I mean? Work around it, and it will just fall out. Like the Japanese have a totally different philosophy about it. It's really fascinating, man.
Yeah, I really liked their pottery. Uh,
Yeah,
I have some Japanese pottery, and
you do.
it's limited what you can find and get. And now I can hopefully
Yeah.
get some good stuff. I'm looking for like a bonsai pottery
Oh, yeah.
mid-century from Japan, and you can't find any good stuff, and it's overpriced. But hopefully, I
Yeah.
find something like that.
I know a guy that lives there. This guy, well, I don't know him that well, but this guy, he is part of this Dabbleverse that I was in. I guess last week. This guy had me on the show, but he lives in Japan. Stealth Chaos is his name, right? He reminds me of someone I know, but he was a male model. I swear to God, he was a male model, but he lives in Tokyo. He's from Scotland originally. He's in Tokyo. Don't really know the guy, but interesting fella. But he lives in Japan. He lives there, and he sometimes you get to see his apartment. It's like some of the most bizarre thing. It's like his bedroom is like it's like a gray concrete seal wall that just like goes up like I don't know. It's just like this. He lives in this very brutalist style apartment in Japan. It's just and you're just like whoa, like I don't know. It just if I had to pick one country to go to, that just to enjoy myself and experience new
Yeah, I
things.
wish I could be there
It's
a month or longer,
yeah.
summer home or whatever the case. But for the movie, I did collect some Maneki Nico beckoning lucky cats. You've seen them, with the
Probably.
paw up.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the paw moves up and
Like
down.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
lucky cat.
It's
And I have a
Japanese.
collection from the 80s of lucky cats. And
Really?
I think I got the full set. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
There are these Japanese gods. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
7 lucky gods, something to that effect. So I
Mm-hmm.
assumed there's going to be 7 cats, and there's not. There's only like 4 or 5. But I got the set, and hopefully
Yeah.
I see another one in Japan. But they're key pieces. Uh, my movie is futuristic. It's cyberpunk, but futuristic and cyberpunk isn't always something you got off the shelf from Walmart of the future. Sometimes it's something from the past. And I have these Japanese things decorating the set. And so I've always had Japanese style stuff decorating the set of the movie. So to actually step out of the set and be in real Japan will bring the movie to life. That's
Yeah.
impossible to do
It's true.
other than
I was
that.
I just watched. Are you familiar with Hideo Kojima, who's the director of a video game, like a billionaire director of Metal Gear Solid series. I think which what was Konami or Capcom, one of those. And
Mhm.
but also he just came out with Death Stranding too. Um, with like all these, it's basically a movie. Elle Fanning's in it. The guy from God, that zombie TV show, Walking Dead is in it and stuff, and like a bunch of different people. But Hideo Kojima, he's a really interesting artist, and I watched Death Stranding. Like you can watch it's only been out like this week, last for a week, and people have already done walkthroughs. And it's a 24-hour game at least, right?
Mhm.
And it's it's a fascinating game, like the different. But I just wanted to get the story, and you can
Mhm.
do that. You can do that. So I watched the thing, and his aesthetic is far out, man. You would like it. Conan O'Brien is in it, by the way.
Cool.
Guillermo del Toro plays like a big, big part in it and stuff. And
What console do you play with?
there's different ones that people. Oh, you can get. What do I play with personally? I
Yeah.
personally have a PS5 right now. I know it's not a computer. It's not a PC. And the
Well,
PC is the best.
the only game I'm playing right now is the
Ultima.
1997 game Ultima Online. That's it.
Yeah, do it.
Like I play
I
Ultima
know.
Online
It's too bad.
1997 because I got my little
Too
house.
bad. It's true.
I got stuff in the house, and there it is. See, the
But
reason
yeah,
Ultima Online is so addicting is because I have 30 years worth of stuff,
yeah,
or maybe 27 years worth of virtual stuff
you gotta take care of it. Yeah, it's
in
true.
a house, which is now I dropped my house and let it decay for 2 months. So I dropped it on purpose,
It's
and
still going, huh?
it took me 2 days to put my stuff in the bank. It
Yeah.
took me like 6 hours to move my stuff out of my house because I had that much stuff.
Whoa.
Anyway, I let it fall because my house was small anyway, and now I have even a smaller house. I'm going to try to get an 18 by 18, but this game has non-instanced housing.
What does that mean?
It means if you log in and check out this shard, which is the only number one shard in the world, it's called the Atlantic shard because it's on the East Coast.
Okay.
If you log into Atlantic and you walk to this area and see that house,
Yep.
you're seeing the same house that is everyone sees, an actual
Wow.
house someone actually built in the game.
Hmm.
It's not some portal that takes you to a separate server. It's the actual house in the actual game. Everyone, let's say 10,000 people walk by. 10,000 people see the exact same actual structure you designed yourself.
Wow.
Very few online games have that.
That's true.
World of
Wow.
Warcraft has a stupid ass portal that really isn't there, and they all look identical, and you can't see jack squat unless
Right.
you're invited into someone's little Black Lodge portal to see their little window of their little universe.
Oh,
I want
okay.
to see a portal to a universe. I want an
Right.
actual
It's different.
non-instanced
I
housing
like
that
that.
you design yourself.
It's pretty
So
cool. You can do that in this game too. Yeah.
so few games have that. Maybe on one hand, you can count. Maybe only 5 games in the world
They're
have that.
starting to do that, I think, a
Ultima
little bit more.
Online is, even though it's a 1997 launched game, is still number one.
But you played Dune. You also played Cyberpunk 2077. So
Yeah,
you
Dune.
don't just
Well,
play
I would say Dune sort of
Ultima,
has non-instance housing, sort of, in the
right?
fact
Well,
that they have a trillion sieges.
but they go away. Yeah.
They have a trillion sieges because it's cheaper server-wise to pay the server man a lot less money. And Ultima Online obviously doesn't care. It's such an old game. It's two-dimensional game, but there's a 3D upgrade. But it's money-wise, money, 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 money.
Mm.
And when they made Shroud of the Avatar, the spiritual successor to Ultima Online,
That's what it is. Oh, okay.
I said 1,000 times, "Can you make it non-instanced housing?" And they said, "Yes, it is
They did.
non-instanced housing."
I
And
remember
they
you.
lied.
Yeah.
It's instanced housing, specifically instanced.
No.
Because I logged in with one character on one computer and another character on another computer, and I couldn't see myself because I was on a secret instance.
Whoa.
I couldn't even trade with myself unless I logged out, logged in, logged out, logged in, and finally I could see myself because they have layered secret instances for money reasons because it's
Right.
cheaper. It's cheaper to have 5 people on a server than
That's
50
true.
people on a server. It's cheaper.
They're right about that. Yeah.
So
But this is
that
not Richard
game
Garriott,
long
right?
died. That
With
game
Shroud of
long
the
died because no one could see anybody. If you're in an online game, you want to see other human beings playing.
Lotro is
You're
like
by
that.
yourself, and you're like, "This is a single player game,"
Yeah.
and the single player fans liked it, but those single player fans are only 5 players. Everyone else didn't like it.
Oh. Fascinating. I think, like ultimately, like you, I mean, you're the biggest fan, but like, I think I'm thinking about Lotro and Lord of the Rings Online, where it's
I played
not.
that once.
I know. I've never played it. I've watched people play it, but and I know a lot about it. The guy that wrote this book was part of the development team, but he has a special part. This is like a group of people. Lotro is anyway a group of people who you just know are just the creators of the game, and so you can kind of build your own things here and there, but they're the ones that put stuff in the game that you can't mess with. And so, but they did put him in the game and his son, who passed away, and that he dedicates his book to, who he lost tragically to fentanyl overdose and stuff. But and he dedicates the book to, and it's beautiful and whatever. It's a whole different thing. But he used to fish with his son, and so in the game in Lord of the Rings Online, there's a little corner in the game that people can still go to. It's kind of hidden away, but there you'll find him and his son fishing, just sitting there fishing as hobbits.
Reminds me of the metaverse, like the.
By the way, I had $15 million in real estate in Meta. I have, as you can see, I have the glasses. I'm sponsored by Meta. I know the stock is good.
Well,
is already up.
I personally paid $25 million to live right next to Snoop Dogg.
Did he?
And I think Martha Stewart had a house next to Snoop Dogg.
I bet they did.
And they were in my same neighborhood. $25 million well spent, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I mean, I'm right. Listen, I have Steve Harvey, which you can't get better than that. I have a house in Miami. I have a house in Lake Havasu, not bad, and then I have an apartment over in San Francisco, and I'm working on the furniture right now. I just took out a loan for about $50 million just to furnish it. I'm getting in, of course I'm going to get the car, and what I love to do is I put on my Meta goggles, and I go into the metaverse, and what happens is I have meetings there.
You have a Meta treadmill?
Yeah, they do that.
Second level unless you have a Meta treadmill.
Do they really have that? Oh God! I put on the Meta goggles. It made me sick, and like that virtual reality. I don't know how people do it. I put it on for like maybe 10 minutes, played a game for a little bit, and it was kind of cool. But I was sick after it. It was just sick. But anyway, yeah, Meta lost bad, right? Like big time.
$80 billion down the tubes.
And I think that's why these glasses were so cheap.
I know Zuckerberg.
These weren't that expensive at all.
But Zuckerberg paid the wrong people because he has the worst graphics.
It was sucked. I mean, when it first came out,
who did he pay to make those graphics? Because that is like Nintendo Wii waiting room graphics.
Nintendo Wii.
Really bad. So
it was Nintendo Wii. It was worse than that. But like I remember Tim made fun of it, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I love using it for all my meetings." And it's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine being like, "Okay, I'm going to have a form," like, because that's how they pitched it. Was like you could have a meeting there with other people.
Yeah,
like an office meeting, like an actual office.
I don't know a single human that owns the goggles.
Stupid.
Do you actually own the goggles?
I do know people who do it. The school I work at actually does have a pair.
I think the goggles
they're okay.
Lay off. See, I have a movie set 100 years in the future, and I could tell you what people surf the web with in the future, but it gives too much away. I got to keep it a secret.
Yeah, we won't comment on that part. But
see, in Hollywood ran out of ideas 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So even my microscopic movie, which may not make the biggest impact in the world, even the smallest grain of ideas, even the tiny golden ball in the Black Lodge that a tulpa can turn into from your hair clippings, even the smallest idea is going to be ripped off immediately, and you're always get zero credit.
I have a story about that.
Yeah. If you assume you'll get credit one day or you'll get a check in the mail one day, it's not going to happen. That's not how the universe works. You have to claw and tooth, figure it out. And I think I don't know. I think it's a blessing from on high that I was able to sell a couple of these dudes, and now I can start filming. I'm going to sit on it. I'm not going to blow it this time.
Good.
I'm going to actually use it for good, because when I have the Japanese footage, I'm going to be like, wow, that's something that can't be taken away. there it is. I'm really excited and looking forward
That's
to it.
really
I don't
cool,
even
man.
have a passport yet, so it's not
That's
like
no big deal.
next
That's
month.
no big deal.
I'm going to get a passport as soon as
It's
possible.
$100. It's $100. You
Yeah.
know, if that about that. No big deal. Just it's the waiting of it. That's
Yeah, like 6 weeks or whatever. I can.
yeah.
I'll
But you
get.
can pay, you can expedite it, and they have services. You can look it up online where you pay an extra $100, and essentially you're paying a dude that gets your paperwork
On top of the stack.
Yeah, and it gets a stack of them, goes down, and they have a bunch of these people that go to Washington, D.C., which is the only place in the country that you can get a passport that day, and like right then and there, if you have the paperwork all set. And if you have the paperwork all set and you pay the fee, if you want it that fast, they'll do it, you know. But I wish you all the best. We'll
I mean,
definitely
if you want a gift, I can try to get something for you.
Oh, that'd be sweet, man. Yeah, just
Tell me what you can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a hat or something, maybe a T-shirt. I don't know. No, I just want you to have a good time, man. Thanks for thinking of me, though. You know, but we'll talk about it. I'll be thinking about it. But that's seriously like amazing news. Like that I didn't know the details, obviously, of like. But,
yeah, I got to keep some of the details a secret, but I already filmed 3 videos talking about fortuitous events, but I got to keep them a secret because
you have to.
You know, I didn't hit it big or anything.
No,
I mean,
but
you know, if I did win the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody.
But it paid off. I mean, I'm just saying it paid off. Like whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? I don't think it's an evil spirit that you made a pact with or whatever. You know what I mean? I think it's a legitimate, like it's not like it wasn't like a quick turnaround. It was like more of a
it's a 3-year investment. That
it was like you had faith in it in a way. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you just wanted to make like a quick. You really like went out of your way to like.
I mean, I really wanted to use it in the movie. So that was the purpose of the whole thing.
But also, who knows like what the future holds? How many things? Maybe Peeps will someday become this, you know, commodity that's like super popular. And I think we should. My battery's getting low, but
yeah, we got to close it on out. But don't forget to get your finger puppet peeps, finger puppet peeps. Great pretend play.
That's right.
It's right there. Great pretend play. Get your finger puppet peeps today.
Ooh. Get that. I mean, I personally am going to get a bunch of those. You know, I think they're fun. But well, that's great news. I think we'll wrap it up. What do you think, John?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, so that's episode 18. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for watching. Be seeing you.
If you don't know, you aren't in the know. As above, so below. If you can't see in the dark, you'll never see the unseen phantasms fade away. When you can't hear a note, you can't hear the score. Key to the invisible door. If you don't know, you aren't in the know. So below, so below, so below, so below. Sun shining, half past noon. Pretty soon, dark side of the moon. I've been taking navigate beyond the veil. The unknown known is the holy grail. You'll never believe, never gaze deeper. They'll never believe till they meet the grim reaper. Mysterialis Ghost Investigation Crew. What it do? Most ghosts aren't even ghosts. Traces behind, like burnt toast.
Mysterialis Ghost Investigation Crew, MGI.